AI has just exploded into our lives, and for our kids, it's not some far-off future. It's the world they're living in, right now. It promises this revolution in learning, like a personal tutor for every child. But it also carries some serious risks that we're only just starting to understand. It's a real double-edged sword. So, let's dive right in. So that's the big question, right? Is this incredible new technology really a force for good in our children's lives, or are we kind of overlooking the harm it could be causing? And spoiler alert, the answer isn't simple.
And look, don't think for a second this is some future tech. It's already woven deep into their daily lives. We're not just talking about the big ones like ChatGPT. It's the YouTube algorithm that decides what video they see next. It's Siri or Alexa answering a quick homework question. It's those learning games that magically get harder as they get smarter. It's even the grammar tool that's checking their essays. AI is basically this invisible, always-on companion in their digital world.
So let's start with the good stuff, the promise. And honestly, the potential of AI in education is kind of mind-blowing. It really centers on this one powerful idea, a personal tutor for every single kid, no matter who they are or how they learn. And at the heart of all this is a concept called personalized learning. Now, this isn't just about sticking a textbook on a screen. Think about it, an AI system that doesn't just throw information at a kid, but actually gets them. It can figure out what they're great at, where they're struggling, and then deliver exactly what they need right when they need it. And hey, this isn't just some pie-in-the-sky idea. Check out this real-world example from a program in Pittsburgh. They used a mix of human mentors and an AI tutor, and the results? Wow. The students who used the AI tool saw their scores on standardized math tests nearly double compared to the other kids. I mean, that's a huge deal, and it really shows how this tech could help close some of those stubborn achievement gaps. And it's not just the numbers. Teachers are seeing this on the ground. I love this quote from an English teacher, Victoria Salas Salcedo. She says, an AI feedback tool is almost like having an extra teacher in the room. So the AI handles the first pass of feedback, and that frees her up to focus on the kids who need that human touch the most. That's a game changer. And the benefits just keep stacking up. For multilingual students, AI can offer instant support. For students with disabilities, tools like speech-to-text can be incredibly empowering. And it could even bring top-tier education to remote areas that have been left behind for way too long. The takeaway here? The upside is just massive. Okay, but remember that double-edged sword? It's time to look at the other side. Because with all this amazing promise, AI also brings some pretty significant and sometimes hidden dangers. Every powerful tool has a dark side. And when we're talking about our kids, we have to be crystal clear about what those risks are. So, let's talk about one of the sneakiest problems out there, algorithmic bias. The idea sounds great, right? Let's use AI to predict which students might be at risk of dropping out so we can help them early. But here's the catch. If you train that AI on old data that's already full of societal biases, what do you think happens? The algorithm ends up unfairly flagging minority students. And this isn't just a hypothetical. This has real-world consequences. An analysis of an early warning system in Wisconsin found that the rate of false alarms, that is, the AI saying a student wouldn't graduate when they actually did, was a staggering 42% higher for Black students than for white students. So the AI wasn't fixing the problem, it was just baking in the old biases. Oof. And believe me, the dangers don't stop there. You've got AI designed to keep kids glued to screens, which can mess with their sleep and mental health. There's the fear that if kids rely too much on AI, they won't develop crucial social skills. And what about all the data they're collecting on our kids, often without really strong privacy protections? And finally, there's the very real risk that wealthier schools will get better AI, making the gap between rich and poor even wider. Okay, so we've got the tech side down, right? The good and the bad. But what about the human element? What do parents, teachers, and what do the kids themselves actually think about all this? Well, for starters, there's this huge gap in who's actually using it. Check this out. 58% of teens have used ChatGPT. For parents, only 30%. It's the same old story, right? Just like with social media, kids are jumping on this way faster than the adults in their lives. But, and this is what's so interesting, despite that gap, they pretty much agree on the big picture. An overwhelming majority, 84% of students and 82% of parents, agree on the exact same point, that AI could be incredibly helpful and incredibly harmful. They totally get that this is a double-edged sword. And when you dig into what they're worried about, it's almost a mirror image. Everyone's worried about kids getting too dependent on AI. They're worried about cheating and about the AI just being plain wrong sometimes.
And this one's kind of fascinating. Some researchers are worried that just bossing an AI around all day might make kids forget to say please and thank you to actual people.
So, where does that leave us? How do we move forward? This quote from a Harvard researcher, Ying Zhu, really hits the nail on the head. She says we should embrace AI, but not as a replacement of human interaction, but as a complement to it. It's not about choosing between tech and teachers, it's about making them work together. All right, this brings us to the final and, let's be honest, the most important part. We've seen the promise, we've seen the peril, so how do we actually do this? How do we build a future that gets all the good stuff from AI while protecting our kids from the bad? And here's the thing you have to remember. None of this is set in stone. The impact AI has on our kids isn't something that's just going to happen to us. The future here really depends on the rules we set, the standards we demand, and the choices we make right now.
And you know what? People are starting to step up. A high-level group of scientists, youth leaders, and policymakers got together recently, and what came out of it was this really powerful call to action. We need a global commitment to put kids first in this new AI world.
And they didn't just talk, they laid out a roadmap. It's pretty clear. Step 1, we need stronger rules globally to protect kids, period. Step 2, tech companies have to build safety and privacy in from the very start, not just tack it on later. 3, we have to demand transparency so we know how these things actually work. 4, and this one is huge, we actually have to listen to young people, like bring them into the room where the decisions are being made. And finally, this has to be a team effort, a global collaboration to make sure AI benefits every kid, not just the lucky few.
So, we're back to where we started, but now the choice feels a lot more real, doesn't it? The AI revolution isn't coming, it is here. The only real question left is, are we going to be the architects who thoughtfully build this future for our kids, or are we just going to be its subjects?